Okay, welcome back here. I think we'll get into the PvE stuff now, since I've covered all the PvP things. So I've got this protection paladin sort of list just brought up here, and figure I'll go over some tanking things. And the first thing was just finding a weapon. It's kind of hard to do to comb through here, but this thing is insanely good. It's a quest reward from the Stalfin quest in Duskwood. And the 1.6 swing speed is what it's all about when you're using uh, Seal of Righteousness for threat and stuff. Like, because you're using Seal of Righteousness, this added speed is just going to be better than like a slightly better DPS, like one hander with stam or something on it, which I can't figure out how to get this thing to just show me one handers, which is getting annoying. But if you come through here and you'll eventually find like you could get a decent like axe here. This is pretty good, right? Just defeat Necrosh and Wetlands. You get a 1.9 swing speed with 5 stamina. That's all good and stuff, but the extra zero point 0.3 on the swing speed can really kind of hurt your threat. I mean, just tanks in general, just kind of like attack speed, because righteousness is your threat generation. It's not the white hit itself that's giving you threat. You get a lot of extra threat from your holy damage. And the way Seal of Righteousness scales, it's pretty even with the swing speed. So you want just the faster swing speed is better, right? And this helps you just generate threat a lot better. And having a faster swing speed means it's not as punishing when you get those dodges and parries and misses in there. You don't have to wait as long for another hit to possibly get more damage from the righteousness. It means that you're less likely to lose aggro. Another important piece here is this Crest of Darkshire, and another quest reward from Darkshire. It's really good. It's just got the 661 armor. The armor value is really what it's all about here. As you get into looking at some other things, you're just not getting that high of an armor value. So that's pretty much all you're looking for from your shield. It's the highest armor value possible. Because as you can see, 661 armor, since we're in mel gear, these other pieces aren't going to have as much. Mel only has about half as much armor as plate. So this thing's going to be worth like, freaking 6 pieces worth of gears, armor. So you really want to make sure that this, like if this didn't have any other stats and just armor, it'd still probably be the best shield that you can get. Found this. This is just, I think, another quest reward. I think from killing Morbid Fell. And this is the Looking to the Stars quest in Darkshire there. And then the rest, you're just... I looked at things, and some things had some pretty nice stats on it, or armor and things, but you're lacking intelligence if you go that way. Just from quest rewards and dungeon drops and things that you can get otherwise crafting things, you're going to want as much stamina intelligence as possible. This is just sort of the way that prop paladins go. And holy, like you'll be able to heal or tank with this kind of setup too, right? So this is really good because you got to come down here. You got to pick up intelligence, brute seal. You might come over here and I don't know, get this, or you could even try to get mana reduction. I think I'm just going for more armor here. Maybe better than getting the mana efficiency of Benediction, right? This is just what I'm probably going to be going for here. Just plenty of the Eagle gear. And even this belt here, you could probably just come in, find some random green, you know, from fishing or whatever, that's just of the Eagle, and get 4 stam instead of the strength, and be better off for it. Because the thing of it is, you just can't right? You want as much mana to go in and do as much as you can with your mana. You are going to be dropping consecrates, and the general idea of it is you spend a bunch of mana through the start of the fight to where you've built enough aggro that you'll hold threat for the remainder of the fight. That might be, you know, 3 rank 1 or max rank consecrates, and maybe you know, a couple lower rank consecrates to help your mana out. It may be, you know, spamming judgment, spamming your Seal of Righteousness judgment after you've judged Crusader, which typically you won't even judge Crusader. You know, this is just level 25 talk. Like, as later on you'll judge Seal of Wisdom, but then you can still just keep judging Righteousness for damage, or if you're using Martyrdom, you just spam Martyrdom for damage until you have enough threat established that you can back off your mana expenses. But BFD is going to be a raid, and we're going to have bosses to go through. You're going to have to, you know, those fights are going to be a lot longer. So you're going to have the mana there to do it. And we get the, I believe it was this, right? That says you gain mana when healed by others equal to 25% of the amount healed. So depending on how much healing they have to give you, like how much damage you're taking, you know, this might keep your mana up pretty well, or they might not hurt so bad, and the healers might not just be dumping their mana bars into you to help you in this regard. So also, you know, you're going to be casting Avenger Shield. So if you're not using this for that little bit of mana gain too, you know, you're on Aegis. Like, if you're not using Aegis, then you have to take Redoubt. But I think if you're doing this, I think you're just using Consecration for your AoE and not using Martyrdom. But that's sort of it. The play style there is, you, let's see here, as far as like the skills you get, you'll see you'll keep Blessing of Wisdom on yourself. You'll judge Righteousness, or sorry, you'll judge Crusader first to increase your damage dealt by your holy abilities. Then, I think this is instant cast, if I'm remembering right. If it has a cast time, then you probably just open with this. If not, then you're judging into this, into dropping Consecrate, into spamming Consecrate and Judgment of Righteousness on cooldown to build as much threat as possible, and then just weaning off of it. This might not be enough to keep your mana up through the boss fights and the raids. We don't know if they're going to have phases and adds, and you know how crazy they want to get with the PFD bosses. Just be prepared that to bring mana potions, and don't be afraid to use them. But I think we're going to be really strong tanks, though. I think it's going to be perfectly fine. I think just reckoning and stuff, this is all going to be more than enough for us to hold aggro. You can generally hold aggro even without like improved Righteous Fury giving you 50% more. And the base Righteous Fury is 60% increased threat from your holy damage, and this changes that base to 80%. This isn't increased by 80%, it's increased to 80%. So it increases that 60 base to now 80% base. So when you had 3 points in this, you were 50% of the 60%, you were at 90%. So this is only 10% less than if you did have 3 points in improved Righteous Fury. And then once we get to like tanking at 40 and you can actually come down the prot tree and pick this up, we'll be at 120% threat generation, and then I don't think you're losing aggro at all for any reason. Now holy is probably just like the same. I don't think it's going to be much different. I think you're going to use that same gear I was showing. Aside from the weapon and shield, you might actually want whatever int and maybe plus healing stuff that you can get. As far as retribution goes, okay, sorry, got a lost my retribution setup. Had to kind of go back and put some stuff in. But for retribution, this is like your BFD, I want to parse pretty hard set that is very easily acquired. I'm not making like a pre-raid best in slot list. I think that's overkill. You don't need that, right? This is just stuff that if you're like logging on and you're really hardcore and like, man, I want to just level through, get to 25 and do the raid by day 2. All right. This is all very easily acquirable to do that. And excuse me, I don't know, it's the same helm because there's really not much in male helms that we can get. And this is like if you're playing on a PvE server, which I will not be. But I kind of wanted to show you like the optimal like DPS builds. It's pretty much all Tiger gear, right? Couple of dungeon drops. You're gonna get Varigan's Fist, which is just the best two-hander in the game that anyone can have, and this is a Paladin quest you get at level 20. You just go and run dead mines, do a quest in I believe wetlands. Then you run Shadowfang Keep, which is you just have to kill like the first boss and then pick up the blacksmith hammer in the stables in the courtyard behind it. And lastly, like Black Fathom Deeps. It wasn't inside the instance. I don't think it was. You could just kill elites outside. They could drop the thing you needed for the quest. That's really it. You just want strength and agility for attack power and crit. I don't think there's a lot more to say about that. These are like a drop from fishing or something like that, it says. So maybe that's not too realistic. Maybe you come in here and you do have to just get another of the tiger piece. For the sort of play style is well, it would have been extremely straightforward. You would have just judged Crusader and then put up Seal of Command and judge it on cooldown and hope for command procs. And that's it. And really at level 25, that's about all you needed. You were actually doing relevant damage with this beforehand. And now we've got Divine Storm, Crusader Strike, and Exorcism to keep on cooldown. I I would say your priority would be Divine Storm over Exorcism over Crusader Strike, just on a optimal rotation. Uh, but we don't know what the whole mana return of Crusader Strike and how little mana you're going to have with this agility set, or even just a strength stam set if you're on like a PvP server like I will be. You might find that you need to prioritize Crusader Strike over all of them. Like if they're all off of cooldown, you might want to click this first just to get it coming back the fastest, just to keep your mana up if you're having mana issues. If not, you're probably, prioritizing Divine Storm. That's about it that I wanted to say on that. I had to re-record it and stuff. It's pretty good. You can get like some other like leather pieces, maybe even cloth pieces, I don't know, but I tend to not go that route because they have said that they're going to make mobs more dangerous in the open world and stuff to kind of balance how much stronger we're going to feel. I don't know if I want to be running around trying to kill mobs in much non-mail gear, so that's kind of what I set up here. I think this is a leather piece, right? Because these are just really good. Everything else should be fairly easily obtainable. These tiger pieces could be really expensive at the start, and you might just have to go into a raid just with whatever you can sort of find, which I don't expect Black Fathom Depths to be so difficult that you really do need to farm out a really good set to do it first. I think it's just going to be, get to level 25 and whatever year you've gotten along the way, just go and run it. I don't think they're going to make that difficult, given that they only want like, they said like 6 weeks or something like that at it, with a 3-day lockout. I think they just want it accessible to people, but that's a lot of speculation. They really could make it hard if they want to, but I think if it's too hard, also you're going to put a lot of people off, like, man, this is just 25, who cares, chill out. We'll see. We will see. But that's it. I'll just cut this in there. Yeah, I'll talk to you next time.